she was actually a
I don't know. I think he was paying attention in a very weird way.
I think he was paying attention to, like, certain mannerisms of hers, but probably not the long term. Like, it clearly was bothering her.
Yeah, I've had partners who have had ADHD, and I've seen that, like, you know, cartoons make you think it's one thing. It's like, you're hyper, and like, no, you're frustrated.
Yeah. And also, like, a prank is funny once. When you're doing something 2 to 3 times a week for 2 years, that is psychotic behavior. You're Jigsaw.
Yeah.
You're Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Dude, Jigsaw.
Literally, when he's like, I want to play a game with my wife, I was like, is this gonna be a Jigsaw?
That's how it opened. That's crazy.
All right. Hate that guy. That guy's just playing weirdo. All right. Am I the asshole for joking with my brother-in-law that he married the wrong sister in front of my pregnant sister and making her cry?
Is there any more of this?
So this is a 25-year-old woman. So my sister is 29, her husband 28, and I visited our parents. My sister and her husband got married 2 years ago. Before that, they dated for around another 2 years. They are currently expecting their first child. When they got together, even they used to joke about how different they were. My sister says that opposites do attract when referring to her relationship. They met through some common friends and they hit it off. But they have completely different points of views in almost everything. They don't have any shared hobbies. They don't even like the same kinds of movies. For example, my sister is very athletic. She loves sports, and when she was in school, she won several awards due to her dedication. Her husband, on the other hand, hates sports. For what he told me, he always faked to be sick to avoid PE. I can relate to that, LOL. His hobbies are more into the creative side. He likes to draw and does it very good, for example. I can say that my brother-in-law and I have lots of stuff in common, and I love to talk with him about our hobbies when we visit each other. I love drawing too, and I actually work as an animator. I also love to watch movies, series, and criticize them. He does as well. My sister likes movies, but she'd rather watch a superhero movie, she's a Marvel fan, or some comedy than a drama. At this point, it had been some time since I saw both my parents and my sister, her husband, as I lived in a different state, so I was trying to catch up with each of them. We were all chatting. We then started talking about the Oscars. I don't even know how the conversation took that turn. My brother-in-law asked me if I had seen The Whale. I was like, you're kidding. Of course I saw it. And we started talking about it. Then he said that he had tried to get my sister to watch the movie with him, but she said it was boring and left after 15 minutes. So I said, well, you married the wrong sister. And he said, yeah, I guess so. My parents, him and I laughed, but we stopped laughing when we realized my sister wasn't laughing too. She was just looking disoriented, I guess, and suddenly she started crying. She excused and said she was going to the bathroom. My mom went with her. We were very worried and weirded out too, so the 3 of us also went to check on her shortly after. When she came out of the bathroom, she said that what we, brother-in-law and I, did was very insensitive and made her feel like she wasn't enough for him. We said that's not what we intended and that we just wanted to joke around as we usually do. We didn't mean to hurt her. She's better now, but still seems a bit upset, especially to me. I tried making small talk, but she just brushes me off. My mom told me that since she's pregnant, she may have gotten overly emotional because of the hormones. She also said it's best to give her some space and to not do jokes like that. Both my mom and my sister are making me feel like I'm an asshole.
Not your actions.
Yeah. You know what? It's less the action and more what, once again, how she's describing her sister and her husband's relationship is justifying, like, that what she did was shitty. Like, it's not like, oh, like, no, they're great together. It's not like it's all these weird justifications. She's describing them as being so different, but it's really, like, small things. Like, oh, he likes these kinds of movies, and she doesn't. It's like, okay, that's not a huge difference.
Yeah. It sounds like they were in a functional relationship.
Yeah. And it does kind of sound like a little part of her does believe that. She's like, I love talking to him. We get along so well. We have so much in common. And I joked that, you know, like, here's the deal. Because, like, if that is the case and they get along so well, I don't know their lives, but that is probably something the sister picked up on before, and there might be some insecurity there. And there's a lot of ways you can feel, like, inadequate to a partner. There's a lot of ways to get... Like, emotional cheating is a thing, that's not it necessarily, but like at the same time it's like in front of your face being like, yeah, I guess so, like,
he was not aware of any, oh god.
Without more context, right? I would say this is a perfect example of like assholes.
Yeah.
Like that's assholes. Other stories that we've read today are like monsters.
Don't say that.
But someone said everyone in this post except your sister is a major asshole. Who the says I guess so in front of his pregnant wife about picking the wrong sister? I hope she dumps his ass and goes low, no contact with all of you. You have no respect for her. Someone else said, why would anyone even make a joke like that about a sibling's partner? Gross.
Yeah, that's rough.
You're the asshole.
Their friend. Like, why do you have to like?
Yeah, it's a
replace your
weird thing to
sister?
say.
Like,
It's a
what?
weird thing to say. You're the asshole, so how long have you had a crush on him?
Yeah.
Yep. And also, if she's willing to say something like that, like, how long has she been making little digs like that at her sister? Like, showing some way that she actually could take power from her sister in some way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's gotta be. It's not the first time you've done that.
hell
Yeah.
no.
That's a good point.
All right, next story. Why I believe orgasms shouldn't matter to men. This is
Yeah,
from
this is not going to be about men.
Yeah.
this is from Unpopular Opinion.
Oh yeah.
Dude, just
Which is crazy. I did not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really though.
As we know, most women cannot orgasm through normal PIV sex, penis and vagina sex. This shows that it really doesn't. This shows that it doesn't really matter and shouldn't really matter from an evolutionary or reproductive standpoint. Allow me to explain further. When it comes to men, there is an evolutionary importance to us having an orgasm. Under most normal circumstances, when a healthy man orgasms, he ejaculates and releases semen, which of course has a reproductive purpose, and that's the reason why orgasm is so easy for us men through penetrative sex. Especially me, it takes like 2 seconds. It's because...
You added that, right?
I added that.
Okay.
It's because it's practically necessary for us to orgasm inside of a woman in order for us to release semen inside of a woman. This is not the case for women. A woman does not need to orgasm in order to accept a man's penis, nor to accept a man's semen/sperm. Think about it. If having an orgasm for women had the same reproductive importance that it did for men, don't you think women would come far more consistently through penetrative sex? Now, if a woman is able to come regularly through normal penetrative sex, there's a minority that can. That's great for them, and I feel happy for those women. However, I honestly believe it's not men's responsibility to correct or figure out a woman's biological disadvantage in the same way that it's not women's responsibility to fix or even care about any of man's biological disadvantages, generally having higher sex drives than women. It's not women's responsibility to cure or fix that. For example, it's not a woman's responsibility to cover up her body during summertime just because a man has testosterone flowing through his veins on the verge of getting a boner. That's his problem. Just to clarify, I'm not saying because of this men should not pursue giving their women orgasms. However, what I am saying is that it's not men's responsibility, nor should men care about it because it's not men's problems.
Sir, what?
Don't give him sir.
You're right.
Don't give him sir.
Douchebag.
Oh,
What?
hey, for heads up,
The problem
if
is
you
this
go
guy's
to
an
our
incel,
club,
so his quick little free the nipple thing
we have a whole
is,
bunch of people now.
I really trust where it's coming
He's
from.
trying to prove to his friends he's had sex before with this post. Oh my god.
Insane.
Just say you've never given a woman an orgasm. Also, two things. There is more to sex than PIV penetration. There's a lot of lead up, and that's all part of it. Two, not everybody has sex for reproduction purposes.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, by his logic, evolutionarily, he shouldn't be allowed to live because my hands are able to go around his throat. Just saying. Just saying.
Someone said, "Tell me you're an incel without telling me you're an incel." Yeah, we knew that immediately.
The incel thing is not the same as somebody like not ever having sex or whatever.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
not the same as making fun of someone being not wanting
No,
to.
the
It's the incel thing is being like, well, let me tell you how this is supposed to work in my favor because as a human beast,
It's right. Someone can be a virgin. That's fine. Someone cannot have sex. That's fine. It's the way this guy thinks he has authority and the knowledge of how women operate and how they should.
All women.
And
He just made a claim of
Yes.
all women.
Yes.
Well, there's a minority. Oh, yes. I've never met them.
I'm aware of them. They exist somewhere
Yeah.
with the chupacabra, the manticore.
No, a virgin can be a Chad. A
Yeah.
virgin can be an absolute champion.
But it can't be a Giga Chad.
I don't even know where you get how you get that. Okay, someone said this too, OP. I fell down the rabbit hole reading your other posts' comments. Vastly entertaining if anyone here is bored. You've apparently had sex twice. Dude, calm the down. It takes practice. Of course you're bad in bed, but you won't be any more action unless you're willing to try. If you get any more experience, you'll soon learn sex isn't just P and V.
Yeah.
2 times too many. Those poor women. Someone else said he's got experience in penis enlargement though, apparently, but not sure it worked out okay. Looks for advice on getting an extra ½ inch. Not sure he's hitting the sweet spot somehow. Oh, wow. His comment is deleted, but he was also looking and commenting on penis enlargement threads and stuff. I don't feel sorry for this guy. He's an absolute asshole. What does happen for I think a lot of guys is they subscribe fully to the side of the internet that tells them exactly how to feel man. And this guy thinks this is the manliest post, and he thinks like this is how it works, and this is how I need to
This
be.
is how an alpha thinks. This is how a signal thinks.
He doesn't realize that he is solidifying his. He'll never have sex again if he
He's done his own grave.
Yeah,
He's absolutely done his own grave. And again, like, there is no shame in not having a lot of sex. That doesn't define your masculinity, femininity, gender in any possible way. It's just a matter of, like, he's trying to own this and be the authority, be like, because of evolution, because of who we are as animals, I am entitled to this, and you don't get to have that. Look, this guy.
No, straight up. This guy, look, this guy. Yeah,
Nobody, I cannot emphasize this enough.
Nobody, please pick up this guy. Look, unless this guy is able to figure out penis enlargement and get his dick big enough to fit into his own ass, he's never getting action ever again. All right, moving on.
Also, there's yoga.
Well, be flexible. Okay, this is from our legal advice.
Oh, God. All right, buddy, let's do this.
Okay. I gave out my employee's contact info plus address, full name to a guest that won't stop coming and asking for her, even when she doesn't know this man. I was told she reported me to the police, but isn't that legal for me giving this man public info? This is in Georgia. I am 40s, she is 20s, and this man is 65. He comes in every day asking for her. She has told him to f*** off, you're not in your 20s like me, you ugly creep. He told me, and I wrote her up, which she refused to sign. She has been here 1 month, and this guy has got attracted to her, which she calls him ugly and old, and I can see the pain in him. She does not know him. He has been coming to our gas station daily for the 2 years I've been here.
I'm so sorry.
She is out today, and for 2 more days, he came in asking where she was, so I gave him her full name, phone, and address. He said he went to her address and rang the doorbell. He said she answered and said, "Be right back." Grabbed some wasp spray and told him to f*** off and sprayed him in the eyes. Is that not illegal? But I wanted this guy to stop asking where she was the day she not work here. She said he can go to hell and wants him to stop hitting on her at work, or she'll quit without a 2 weeks, but nothing I can do. Oh my god.
Jail.
Yeah,
Jail.
I
They're
am
an accessory.
so
That's an accessory.
pissed.
Actually, you might even be the organizer at that point because you gave the information.
Yeah. The only defense is that this guy is maybe the dumbest human I've ever
That is true. He might actually be
Not a defense,
so
he's dumb
stupid.
and also.
You be criminally stupid.
Yeah.
You do go to prison.
Holy shit, that's terrifying. This actually, like, rocks me, because I hate that so much, guys. Holy shit.
Why is your first instinct not to report the stock?
If you're tired of hearing it, tell him he can't come into your gas station anymore.
Yeah.
This is a young woman who works for him. He does not view her as a person. She is an object, and because someone is coming in and annoying him about her, well, now she's a problem for him.
He also said, I see
that's
the
a-
pain in his eyes. You relate to this
Well,
65-year-old stalker?
Because he's an older man.
You're right.
So he's like, yeah, game recognized game. I get it. I see how much that hurts. I too don't get to be with a 22-year-old because I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
The comments, I put a woman's life at risk, but it's fine, right? Right, guys? Someone else said, I work at a quilt shop. All my coworkers are retired ladies. Most of our clients are retired ladies. Because of this, none of my coworkers have any qualms about giving out our numbers and schedules, and it makes me feel crazy. If a little old lady showed up at my house on my day off, I'd be furious. Look, I think it's never, you cannot, ever give out someone's info without their consent.
Absolutely
Like, no,
not.
there's no situation. Like, no matter how much, even if it's someone they know, like, I don't care.
I've gotten DMs from like really like avid Smosh fans asking for like y'all's numbers, and after the first few times, I was like starting to feel bad. I realized like you can't do that.
After I gave it out, I was like, dang.
It's like, dang, maybe I shouldn't.
God, I really hope that situation went okay. I hope it's fake. That's one of those that I hope is fake. It's not.
I'm sorry, I'm from Georgia. Like, this is not a judgment from everybody on Georgia, but like,
Trying to pick you
that
up.
happens. Whether or not that's fake, that has happened.
God.
That's happened this week.
Alright, this is the last one. Am I the asshole for telling my wife I'm moving? It is up to her if she is coming with me or not.
Go on.
I'm listening.
Proceed.
My wife and I have been married for 6 years and have 2 kids under 5. We live on the East Coast in a 2-bedroom small house. Cost of living here is insane. My parents moved down south a few years ago. My mother called me up a few weeks ago to tell me about a house in their community that is up for sale. They are good friends with the owner and can get us a good deal for the house. To me, this sounds amazing. Everything there is cheaper and we will have more space and more bedrooms for our kids. And more space in a big backyard, and we will be close to my parents so our kids won't be without family. She said no, there was no chance. Her life is here and has been her entire life, and she has no intentions to change that. I was pissed and slept on the couch that night. I spent all night thinking about it and came to the decision that if she doesn't want to do the right thing by our kids, I will. I laid it out for her. It was up to her if she wanted to move, but I had made the decision to move. She could either come with me or we could divorce. We could sell the house, split it, and I will use my half for my new home down south, and she can do whatever she can with her half up here. Probably would have to rent. We would also have to work out custody of our kids. I told her she has a month to make the decision, but I was going to start the process and get all my business in order. She told me I was being crazy and has only been speaking to me about the kids for the last week. I have been in contact with the seller of the new house and am setting things in motion. My parents told me I'm doing the right thing and looking out for my kids. I ran it by my friends who told me I am being an asshole for expecting my wife to change her entire life, but this is what is best for our kids, and I think she needs to grow up. Stop being selfish and think of our kids.
How long have you been secretly just the world's worst person? Yeah, that's a solid
Home for kids.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about this post. This post did the best so far of setting things up in their favor for the longest amount of time. They're like, here are the problems with our current living situation. All these solutions are making themselves available. In fact, it would work out this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and I'm doing it for our kids. And I was like, great. And then it was like, but my wife would have to leave her family and her job, which she enjoys. We don't know what that is. And the kids have all these friends here. And I'm like, yeah, great. Like, and then he's just like, well, what's done is done.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Also, the balls for him to be like, well, you know, we'll sell the house 50-50 and then we'll work out custody. It's like, if I was the judge, I'd be like, she's got the house and she's got the kids. Enjoy renting down south or live with your parents.
Yeah, think about the kids, you know, like, we should be divorced.
Yeah.
We should have to have them,
you take the
we should
other.
have to have them move up and down.
Actually, I'd like half of both. If we use them to make a new kid, we'll have a wrestle for it.
Yeah. You know what's the most telling sentence in this is early on, when he's talking about devising, like, figuring this all out, he goes, once I had everything worked out and I was sure it was a good idea, I brought it up to my wife. I'm like, so you did everything and you made the decision and then you included your partner. I'm like, you need to bring her in from the very get-go. This guy, it's sad to say, like, mentally, he's been single their entire marriage.
Yeah.
Like, he's never stopped.
That's not a partnership at all.
He's never been in a relationship with her. He thinks like she works for
Is
him.
he trying to get divorced? Because that's how you should just ask for a divorce.
If he's that easily able to get a divorce, to make that decision, it's like, damn,
Yeah.
he doesn't love you. Like, he doesn't respect you.
They need you out of their life so they stop wasting time on you.
I always do feel sad when, like, you know, like, I'm sure there's going to be comments that are like, and, like, I'm not saying no, like, that'll be like, you need to divorce him and stuff, because I always feel bad for the kids. I'm like, God, the kids get punished for that.
But
But
also,
also,
like, look, kids, I've heard this from a lot of kids. I know divorce wreaks havoc on family, but I've heard this from a lot of people. They're like, if you stayed together for the kids, didn't benefit the kids. Like, we saw that, we had to experience that, and already they're under 5. It's like, if this isn't gonna work and that's the type of person he is, it's an absolute
You're right.
nightmare flag.
That's the worst possible band-aid to rip off. Like, sooner than later.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's so selfish, says the man expecting his family to give up their entire lives so he can move closer to money. Classic mama's boy who jumps as soon as mommy suggests it. There's not even a guarantee that he'll even get the house. In this market, people are paying tens of thousands of over-appraisal from their own pockets to secure housing. Say nothing for the fact that if he divorces his wife, he won't have the money or security lenders expect then when offering home loans. He's so godless, ends up having to move in with dear old mom. And he lets his alimony is established. I'm trying to see why his wife definitely lives in the support system.
absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, good luck affording anything. This dude is obviously moving to Florida in a secret way. Our groceries, insurance, health, life, car, and utilities are all skyrocketing to the point these idiots transplants can't afford to stay. They aren't actually noticing the quality of life. Yeah. Yeah, this guy.
We're here to do one thing,
look,
and that's to
like I
win.
said, it's that one sentence. He made the decision. He didn't include his wife on the decision making. And also, his parents sound awful, and it sounds like they've justified his behavior his whole life.
And also, like, if he is talking to his parents and his wife is not part of the conversation, he can say anything to the parents. Like, again, you can set it up and weave it however you want. And, like, look, it sounds like the main situation they're in right now isn't ideal. It's a bit of a
And we're shooting
but, like,
Me too.
bullet has a purpose. Your partner, you're like, would you feel open to moving?
You know why?
Why?
Like, you know, there's one town level up. You'll look at the job, but we, you know, it's a little bit of a
I did not get enough of that
we're
shit.
supposed to cross the country. Yeah. Those are not the only two options.
No, absolutely not.
Something like that.
No.
Hey.
You have to consult each other about financial decisions. You're coming with me or you lose it. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, Barcelona. You better come with it.
How awful. And it's also just like, you have a month to decide. Like, how do you know? You're just like, hey, change your whole life.
Ready to go!
Thinking on that she didn't have to do it. Because he's probably aware, at least in some capacity, of like, okay, I'll have to pay alimony, and I will have to I will second lenders won't want to me. He's like, she's gonna do it. I'm just gonna force her. I'm gonna do it.
Even worse. This devil. So we have had some absolute comments today.
Oh my god, my heart is.
A bunch of these episodes are the worst people we've ever come across. We don't need to pick who feels together.
All
We have tickets for the Eras Tour
You know what? If it makes it better,
I don't tolerate anything.
You will take your place at any Elon funeral.
Pretty much. But
There was no debate.
there was no debate on any of
In
these.
which ways do we want?
Yeah, really. And we'll keep on watching and continue to, you know, let us know if you find a great credit story. Put it on the small credits, send it to our Twitter. I don't know, or just talk about it. Reddit's crazy. Explore it at your own risk.
Yeah.
Because there are some nightmare people out there. Have a good day. Don't be an asshole.
And if you're 13, don't have a period!
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Hot Tales. I'm your host Morgan.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Lauren. You've been asking for stories that fuck you up. You want it crazy, you want it out there.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the fan base.
No, me, Lauren. I literally will listen to yours and Alejandro's, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in my car, and I'm like, listening to you kind of pretending I'm like OP.
You're like getting the wild ones.
Yeah, but Lauren wants the hot seat. She wants the heat. Yeah, just a little
This is
bit.
the hot seat.
But it's always funny because it's so much easier to form your thoughts about the stories when you're not like
Yeah,
on the
like
podcast.
players.
Yeah, everything seems to make sense because whenever I'm driving, sometimes I'll literally turn my
What would you like me
radio
to
off
cover
or
in our
my
next
podcast
edition?
off, and I say my response out loud, and I'm like, oh, that one.
Yeah, even when it's the one you already were on.
Yeah.
You already responded to.
I literally do the same thing. I think it's crazy too because I'll be listening to like an episode the morning it comes out, just like kind of like proof checking again, and I'll be like, wait, God, I should have said this right here, like.
It would have been perfect.
It would have been so good. Or like on YouTube, I like read the comments a lot on